Last game we're going to talk about on this episode is Saloon Tycoon and the Ranch expansion.
Designed by Robert Couch. The artist is Agnieszka Dabrowiecka. Listen to it.
I'm going to give you a 7.
It's pretty close. Publisher, Van Ryder Games.
All right, cool. Eric is going to explain this one. We're kind of combining this. We are talking about the actual game and the expansion rather than splitting this up. So Eric's going to kind of quickly summarize the rules here. Do it, Eric.
All right. So Saloon Tycoon is a game for 2 to 4 players. You are saloon owners trying to grow your business. You're trying to attract wealthy and famous citizens while keeping away the outlaws, which give you negative things throughout the game. So everyone will start out with a saloon board, tycoon cards that you can play for a variety of effects, like getting gold, supplies, or even additional actions. Then you have some secret claim cards in your hand. Those are personal mission cards to complete by the end of the game. And they typically require you to get certain characters or certain buildings. And then you have gold, which you use to buy buildings. There's also supply cubes, which you use to complete the floors of your saloon. When those are depleted, that actually triggers the end of the game. Once that happens, everybody else gets one last turn, but no characters can be added.
He said one last go. That's very British of you.
Yeah, or added or moved. And then you also have open claim cards, and these are out at the beginning of the game. During your turn, you can do a free action to complete any of those. So on your turn, the first thing you do is you get income. You get 1 gold for every tile that you have, and every tile is actually a floor of your saloon. And then you have 1 action during your turn. You can either earn 2 gold, draw 2 tycoon cards, play a tycoon card, build a tile, which is the saloon, by paying its cost, and some of them will actually come with certain citizens. And then you can also bribe a character, and those are the outlaws or the citizens, and you can move it from one player to another. It doesn't have to even involve you. And then as free actions, like I said, you can stake a claim on one of those open claims, or you can supply one of your tiles. It's 2 gold per tile. The big tiles, they require you to have 4 supply cubes on them. The small ones, you need 3. So the majority of your points is going to be finishing your buildings. If you get a 3rd floor, you get a free roof tile. Also doing the open and your secret claims, as well as acquiring those citizens. And then hitting certain thresholds during the game while you play is going to get you these outlaw cards, or cards, yeah. So like for instance, the first person to get 5 tiles, they're going to get this outlaw that every time they have to play a tycoon card, they have to discard one first, or another one where the first person to get 10 gold has to get a hit on their income. They get 1 less income. At the end of the game, whoever has the most reputation wins the game. So then we're also adding the ranch expansion. It comes with ranch hand characters that can never be moved from you. Also cowboy meeples that help you keep track of your ranch track. Large tiles and small tiles that you are going to add to your ranch. Additional tycoon cards, open claim cards, and secret claim cards that incorporate the ranch stuff. As well as ranch cubes, because it doesn't use the supply cubes to upgrade your ranch house. As well as cow meeples, horse meeples, water troughs, and another ranch player board. And 1 more outlaw, which is the first person to get 2 animals gets this outlaw, and it requires you to pay 1 additional ranch point to get an animal, and then if you sell them, you get 1 less gold. So the changes in this is during the income phase, you get 1 ranch point. Unlike the income, it never changes throughout the game. You get 1 ranch point throughout the game, or every turn. But it does add a lot of free actions you can do during your turn. So you can discard ranch cards, sorry, not ranch cards, tycoon cards for 1 additional ranch point. You can sell your animals for gold. You do start out with 1 pin to put animals in there. It can hold 4. And then you can also develop your ranch. And that kind of encompasses quite a bit, actually. So you can purchase animals, cows and horses. You can build an animal pen to hold additional animals, 2 per pen. You can build water troughs. They reduce the cost of getting the animals. You can purchase a bunkhouse tile. That will give you one of those ranch hands. The first person that gets 5 EP for it. Second goes 4, 3, and 2. And then you can also finish a level of your ranch house. And they give you a variety of different benefits. And then at the end of the game, it adds for every animal that you have, you also get VP for those. So I thought it was pretty good. I did like the expansion to it.
Let me stop you for real quick. Let's
Sure.
kind of talk about the game before expansion and then add the expansion and talk a little bit.
Okay.
I think that might be an easy way to kind of dissect the two.
Sure.
So real quick, I want to stress the fact that this game is fast. Like the game is, the length is a good length.
We're talking about base game too, right?
Just base game, yeah.
Base game's really fast. I mean, you only have 1 action. You get your income, and then you have 1 action, which is, one of those is really quick.
It's like by the time you're thinking about what to do next turn, it's your turn.
Yeah.
So like the flow is really awesome.
What triggered in game? Did I miss?
Running out the supply cubes. So like, say in a 2-player game, you have like 40, I think. In a 3-player game, you're gonna have 60.
Okay, so do you not do anything to supply your houses? That just automatically happens. Just whatever you buy has spaces for
as
it.
a free action, you can buy supply cubes to put it on your tiles. And once it has enough supply cubes to finish out that tile, that's completing that building, which gets you some kind of benefit. Usually like a gold or additional supplies.
Or you can draw tycoon cards.
Oh, I got
Or
you.
tycoon
So
cards,
It's
right.
almost like you reserve it and then you finish building it, I guess.
Kinda, yeah.
And then you also get VP for completing those tiles.
But to add on to that, the visual aspect of this is really cool because you put a supply or a saloon tile out, right? You might build like a bar or a billiards. How do you say it? Billiards room.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're buying those supply cubes, they act like pillars on that card. So they're going to go in the corners on the bigger ones, or like kind of in a triangle pattern on the smaller ones. But you actually stack those on top of each other. So it's kind of like Rampage, where you're actually building floors, and it's got this 3D aspect going on.
Yeah.
So,
and then once you build up to 3rd floor, you get a free roof tile.
Yeah, so
you can't
it's like
build
super
higher
tall.
than that. Mm-hmm.
I got you.
Yeah, so your little saloon board starts to make it have this like 3D effect going on because it's building upward.
Okay, that's neat.
Yeah, so that's really cool. And the other thing is the outlaws are so awesomely annoying.
Right.
Because you don't want to be like the first to meet any of these thresholds.
Well, that's what I wrote down. It's like a reverse catch-up mechanic. It's almost like a slowdown mechanic, I guess.
Yeah, everybody.
It's like if you get out in front, it's a way to knock you down a little bit.
You want to get up to a certain point, and hopefully, it's kind of like playing chicken almost. You want someone else to take that next step, or in some cases, you can make someone else take that step. Because there are some cards that, it might give you 5 gold, but everybody else 2. So you might bump someone else, above 10 gold.
Gotcha.
As soon as you hit over 10 gold, you get that outlaw.
Yeah, and those outlaws, that's how they interplay. They're kind of out off the side at first, but once you hit a threshold that matches one of the outlaws, they'll jump in there and start targeting you because it's like, oh, he's got a lot of money now. I'm going to try to rob him.
You said that those could get passed off to other people, though?
Right. You can bribe any of the characters except the ranch hands in the expansion. You can bribe them to go away from you, or you can even bribe these citizens, which are good characters. They're worth VP 5 for every citizens that you have. Also, you need a lot of them for different claims, whether that be a secret claim or open claim.
Yeah, those are like the in-game missions.
Gotcha.
Well, the open claims you do it on your turn if you complete it. The secret claims are end game.
I like the fact the secret claims. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only problem with those, I feel like a couple of them are way easier to accomplish.
That tends to happen anyways.
But right, that's what I was going to say too.
You do get 4 of them and you pick 2.
That's just like an inherent problem with like secret missions.
Yeah.
Some of them are going to be easier depending on the gameplay too.
Yeah, Tim always gets the one that if you build like 7 tiles.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna do that anyway.
Yeah.
But like the other ones, and even the ones, the hard ones are the ones where it's like in the game with these guys and possibly outlaws in front of you. And so like throughout the game, you don't want the outlaws because they'll like lower your income or make those supply tokens cost more, things like that. You don't want them. And it's also, you know what's so cool about this? This is what I really like about the outlaws. Like Eric was doing so well at one point, and you just send you
send them all over.
Yeah, you spend your whole turn because you have to use your action, and you spend money to send the guy over to him. But you're like, I'm gonna pass this off to Eric, and then Eric has to weigh the option of how annoying is this guy going to be for the next couple of rounds.
Right.
Because not only does it take your action, it also takes your money, and you need that money to further build out your saloon.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people said that there was a lot of take that, or maybe too much for them, but I didn't really find that myself because you're not constantly passing these back and forth.
Well, you can't.
Yeah.
I mean, you might do it one and possibly a second round, but then you're broke.
Right.
I mean, even if you got a large income, I mean, even if your income's like 9, what is it? Spend 6 to move them.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't do anything else on your turn, even if you have free actions to spend the money on. So I feel like that too. Like even the Tycoon cards, most of them are beneficial to you and not really to other people.
Right.
Or not detrimental to other people. It's mostly just like,
right. There's no take that stuff. There's like one take that where it's like, I think it's like pick 2 random cards and keep one of them from your opponent's hand.
yeah.
I would assume they're just talking about the outlaws. Probably
Right.
being a
Yeah.
take that.
I don't even know if it's really a take that so much of a,
I'm just saying the
it's
people.
like you're bleeding out.
No, I'm just saying the people that are saying it's too much. Maybe
Right.
they're just they're lumping
because
the
of the
outlaws
outlaws.
in there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Which I'm not gonna say it's the favorite mechanic or that I like them in there, but
The outlaws?
yeah.
Oh, I thought it was awesome.
Oh, you like the outlaws?
Oh, yeah.
Or getting how you get them?
It's not fun to have them, but if you take a step back and you say, is this good in this game? It's phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, it is thematic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, oh, this is a rich town. I'm going to that saloon.
Yeah.
And so your income is, you lose an income every round because of like thieving money from you under the table or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the only problem I have with the game, we're talking about base game right now, is that there's 2 things. One, there's not really a good way to track the, what are the public claims? Is that what it's called?
Open claims.
Open
yeah.
claims. Those are like first come, first serve missions kind of thing. But a lot of them are like, get this dude, this dude, this dude, and this dude, which is interesting because, Matt, you might build a part of your saloon that gives you, when you complete it, that gives you like the sheriff or somebody else who it's like your reward is to get these citizens. All the good citizens, I think, are just worth 5 victory points.
Right.
I don't think they do anything else. But I need him. So now I'll pay you money to influence him to come to my saloon.
Well, you don't pay him.
Oh, what? How do you get
You
him?
Just pay
you
bank
just
or
pay the
something.
bank, 6 code.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I don't pay you. You're right. You pay $6 to get him to come to your city or saloon or whatever. And at the end of the game, you get you complete those things or your claims or whatever, your private ones. But the open ones, like, the open ones weren't that bad because it's like you could just get him and then send him away, like if it's an outlaw that you need or something. But there's no real good way to visually see this, so we had to get like colored gems and place them on the
Like you need this, and this card.
yeah. So people can look around and be like, all right, that green, and that green are all related to this claim
Right.
that has a green gem on it. So I think that that would be cool. Thing to add to the game, some way to visually tell that really quickly without leaning over and be like,
Right.
hey,
I'm looking at trying to get that.
yeah,
Right.
I need this last guy. How do I build this dude? Stuff like that.
So we'll actually put it, the gems on the certain buildings that you get to get those characters.
yeah. So we kind of visually made it easier. The other thing is like the private claims or whatever, the closed claims or whatever they're called.
Secret ones.
I'm using like every word besides what I need. The secret claims, those were actually really annoying. I think most of them I did not like because I don't like the ones.
They seem pretty hard, right?
Like you have to end the game with these guys and it's so just swingy. I didn't like that, but I like the open claims that do the same thing because it can happen at any point throughout the game and then you can get rid of that dude.
Right.
So, but it's not really that big of a deal. That's just what I thought. But anyway, you want to talk about the ranch expansion?
Oh yeah. I liked it a lot because it added so much to your turn. Because in the base game, your turns are pretty quick. it almost doubles your turn basically, you know, and it's almost, I don't know, I'm not sure if it's a good thing, but it's almost like playing two games now.
Sounded like Agricola when
Yeah.
you were talking about it.
And one thing that I also didn't like about it is the pieces on the games, the pieces that you get for, you know, the cow and the horses. They're, you know, Agricola quality, but also these water troughs, those are really nice.
The water troughs are cool looking.
Yeah, but you didn't get to utilize it. At least in our game that we played, we didn't have a lot of animals in our.
Do you feel like you almost have to work on your ranch or work on your saloon?
Yeah, there is a kind of a give and take. You can take away from building as much on your saloon, you know, taking away cards and whatnot to bolster up your ranch. And sometimes you need to do that because there are, you know, open claim cards that say, you know, you have to have certain things in your ranch done to get them. So it's almost a race there as well.
It's weird because I put on here that, you know, for my notes, I was like, I didn't like dislike the ranch expansion, and I liked it, but I don't feel like it was necessary.
No, definitely not necessary.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't know what people are saying online as far as balancing. I think some people said that maybe it fixed a few things. I don't know what it fixed, but I think, like, I like the game originally, but I'm not opposed to playing it with the ranch expansion because it does add a lot of free actions you can do.
Right. And in that case, I would say I would preference it over not playing with the expansion.
Like you would use it without. Yeah, I would say I would.
Because it adds so much more that you do in your turn.
Yes. But it is kind of like you're playing two games or managing two different things. They don't
mesh
as much as we would like it.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say that I would rather play it with the expansion rather than without, simply because you get to do more stuff, and the extra stuff you're doing still makes the game like not have a lot of downtime.
Right. Yeah, your turns are so fast. You're not doing a lot of, you know, additional stuff, but it gives it a little bit more meatiness to it.
Yeah. So yeah, I liked it. I actually think it's a really good game. I'm super pumped about trying it out. I wish we would have got it played with you before.
Yeah, no, it's I know the one time I left before you all played it, just looking at it looked fun.
Yeah.
So,
I guess we should talk about that. Table space.
Oh, that's what my last topic right there. You need a decent sized table because there's a lot of tiles you put out. There's a lot of character cards that you put out, and plus your 2 boards, so it takes up a lot of space and setup time. You know,
there's an accordion divider thing you can buy for Food Chain that goes inside the box. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Jason had it. So like once you empty out the box and you set the game up, you put this like accordion thing in the box, and picture like Dominion style. If you've never played Food Chain, there's just so many cards that you can buy. It's like triple the amount of, like maybe just double or triple the amount of Dominion that's on display that you can purchase from. And all these are stacked upright in these like accordion thing that's in the box. It saves so much table space. I wonder if they could do something like that for this game, where you just plop it out in the box, stick all the little different tiles for all the different roofs, not roofs, but floors and things like that.
Right.
That'd be kind of neat.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's functionally able to do this.
The tiles are pretty thick, and there's quite a bit of them, so I don't see that happening, but it's interesting.
Something. Either way, I mean, it's not like it takes up World of Warcraft size table.
No.
But it does take up a normal size kitchen table for sure.
Right. You can't play it on a little card table.
Yeah, no, that's not happening. You would need something else on the side.
Yeah.
So anyway, I like the game.
Yeah.
I like the speed. I like the tempo of it. I like just the flow of what you're doing. You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this. And it's got, for me, it has just enough take that to not be annoying.
Right.
And it has enough take that slows people down. But not, you know, like I say, it's like a slow bleed rather than that, bam, you just got knocked down 3 turns.
Right.
So.
And in reality, you could spend your turn and your money to send it back, but are you going to just sit there and swap it back and forth?
Right. But it's not, but the difference is, you know, that's a huge take that is to give somebody an outlaw. But it does take your entire turn and your money. And so for that, it's kind of like you paid the price to make them take that rather than just have that one card that you just luckily drew.
Which there is cards that actually can move characters.
Was it?
There's not a lot of them, but there were.
It was like only like 2 or 3 copies or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So other than that, those 2 cards, yeah, you are playing a price, and even in that case, you're playing you're playing a card.
Yeah, but that's your
price,
action.
your action, right?
So it doesn't cost you money.
Right.
Is all it is. But it still takes your turn.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, huge thumbs up for me. I like it.
Yeah.
And I like the expansion. Like we said, I'd rather keep it,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think it's like a dire need to have it if you've played Saloon Tycoon. And I don't know how much it would refresh the game if you're bored of Saloon Tycoon. It's kind of like just another thing you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It does add more actions, which I am a fan of.
Yeah.
So. Well, cool. Anything else?
No.
Matt, you got anything else you want to talk about?
I look forward to trying it.
That is Saloon Tycoon and the Ranch expansion.